This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Hope your weekend's been going alright. Little thunder shower this morning here in southern Alberta. Ain't gonna put a damper on going out and enjoying a beautiful Sunday afternoon. That said, it's done, it's over. It's just about dinner time, supper time, whatever you want to call it, meal time. Well, I'm not here to judge. That said, like I said, 5:30 on the clock and thinking about food, but also thinking about doing some other stuff. Potentially maybe talking to you about a crazy idea that seems to maybe be cropping up on Twitter if you pay attention to that old machine, is the fact that, well, the Oilers Nation stirred the pot. I helped stir the pot a little bit myself with the fact of, hey, why aren't we talking about potentially, if available, for a PTO, right? Ken Holland loves bringing in guys on a PTO come training camp. Anton Bertasov might ring a bell. I'm talking guys from the KHL. Well, in a more normal year, this year, there's one guy, a KHL champion actually this past year, that would really pique my interest if we were to pull up a PTO from the KHL. One guy that, once we drafted first overall in 2012. Yes, I am talking about Nail Yakupov. Yeah, you know what? The reason this channel got started the way it did. Yeah, okay, alright. I've got my share bit of reasons why I'd want Nail Yakupov to be PTO'd by the Oilers and potentially brought in to be that stellar third line depth scoring winger we need. Just saying. Just saying he is capable. Don't judge him. The NHL E, which I always ignored, probably says something very good about him. Quite honestly, I'm not here to make judgments anymore because everything I say, the reverse happens. End of story. Alright, but I've come to bargain because Nail Yakupov is a hard guy to convince a lot of Oilers fans to take a second turn at. I think that's a pretty good, universal, solid statement that I'm making right there. So I've come to bargain. I bargained a little bit on Twitter as well, and I think it's a little bit of something we can do together here, is the fact of why stop at Yakupov? Why stop at Nail Yakupov on bringing back former Edmonton Oilers #1 overalls? I've been very outspoken about how I have zero to no interest in bringing back Taylor Hall. And now, after seeing what he did with Sabres this year, it is just a guarantee you draft first overall. But, you know what, end of the day, seeing what happens when the Oilers make the playoffs versus what happens when the Oilers don't make the playoffs, it doesn't matter. Oilers fans are going to be upset. We could win the Cup 16 straight games, 4 straight series sweeps, and there'd still be people complaining that we played 60 minutes of hockey and still only playing 45 and be able to coast the rest of the way. So, with that said, yeah, let's do Taylor Hall. You know what? Double up. Let's get it done. We got Nuge. We got McDavid long term. They're taken care of, so let's get the other two back. Why not? Let's have a little bit of fun with it, right? And that's where I said I've come to bargain because I'm a guy anti-Taylor Hall. You're a guy or a lady or that may be out here saying, no, you know what? Yeah, screw it. I don't want Nail Yakupov. He had his chance. He failed. That's what I'm saying about Taylor Hall. So here we go. Can we bargain on this one? Not one, not the other, not neither. Let's do both. Why not both? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be a great time? And hey, then you've got the other two. You got McDavid. You got Nugent Hopkins. And guess what? Those goofs that call themselves Calgary Flames fans, my friends, they can have themselves a field day. They have a field day every time you say, oh, Calgary's got it so tough, or Calgary's sucks, or whatever. And they're like, at least we don't need 4 or 5. How many ever first round picks you ever got? And they always say 5. Like it's like they're missing math numbers in their head where like somehow 4 equals 5 in their brains. Don't get me. I mean, there's a lot of interesting Flames fans out there, and try reasoning with them as you might, they still aren't going to get it right at the end of the day. But here we go. You know what? If you've got 4 physical first overall picks on your roster on the ice, you know what? It's hard for them to screw it up. I mean, the broadcast that's always in favor of the Flames is going to tell them, look, these guys you don't like have 4 first overall picks in the lineup. So maybe after Cassie Campbell-Pascal shoves it down their throat a million times, maybe they'll understand that it's 4, not 5. And therefore, there you go. Then they're upset about 4, and they're finally correct in being upset about something. But at the same rate, we got them. They don't. Sucks to be them. Let's go, right? A little bit of fun, right? You see where I'm having at this, right? There's the Flames angle. There's the angle of the rest of the NHL where Buffalo, they've had how many first overall picks, and they might not even have Jack Eichel by the end of the offseason. Oh boy, hey, you know what? Whatever, right? Good time. The Oilers get the band back together. It's the first time since 16-17 that we've actually had a legit shot to do it, and why not do it now? Ken Holland, a guy not afraid to make bold moves, i.e. trade 2 second-round picks for Andrei Athanasiou. So why not bring in, after saving all that money on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Taylor Hall, and bring in Nail Yakupov to be that third line scoring winger we so desperately need, that if Toby Reeder would have scored more than 0 goals, he would have been. Fair? Fair. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an easy proposition. You might actually like both guys. I'm a big-time Yakupov guy, so I'll stand in that corner. There are a lot of you that'll stand in the Taylor Hall corner, and that is just fine, because I've come to bargain, and I'll meet you in the middle. And why don't we do both? Because we got the cap space to do it. We have the need to do it, right? Everybody's talking about adding Thomas Tatar. I think Oilers fans would be much, much happier as a consensus general overall feeling to bring in Taylor Hall. And I'm saying if you're going to bother bringing in Taylor Hall, you got to get the band back together. You got to do this now that every single one of these players, guaranteed, look it up, have some form of second round playoff experience, if not a cup championship. Sorry, Yak's the only one with that. My apologies. But, right? You get where I'm going. Yakupov's got a cup championship. Hall played the second round this year. Nugent McDavid played the second round in 16-17. Hey, right? There you go. And you know what? End of the day, the band would be back together and it would be a great old time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Hope you've enjoyed this Sunday installment. Hey, maybe think about coming back next Sunday and seeing if I'm up to anything. But do make sure to stay tuned the rest of this week for some slow pitch coverage. My friends, that's what I'm bumping hard this summer. You don't want to miss it. You never know who's going to show up, and it's always a dang good time. I am up on out of here.